There's been a lady talking outside of my window for the last 30 minutes, and I'm hoping she doesn't come back because she finally shut up. So here we go. I promise this video is going to be about Ouija boards, and I have kind of like a little conspiracy theory that I want to talk to you guys about. I don't even know if it's necessarily a conspiracy theory, but like it's my conspiracy theory. Basically just a theory that I have. But I wanted to address a couple things, and my face is one of them. I tweeted about this, and I think I posted it on Snapchat. Oh my fucking god. That is the biggest motherfucking bug I've ever seen. What are you? I hate Texas because there's a lot of big flying things here. Everything's bigger in Texas. But okay, I tweeted about this and I put it on Snapchat, but I got attacked by a dog during my break from social media, which I also kind of want to address. I took like a 3-day break. It wasn't some huge, insane break, but I did take a break, and I kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit about that because I didn't upload last week. But I kind of want to go over my face a little bit. It actually doesn't look nearly as bad in video, and it doesn't look as bad in pictures, which kind of pisses me off a little bit because people think I'm a pussy then, but I swear to God, guys, this shit was really bad. Right now it's kind of starting to scab over, but I had this one right here. The one on my lip was so deep. I genuinely thought I needed stitches when it first happened, and the rest of it's kind of just like scratches almost. But let me tell you the story. I was at my friend's house, and let me tell you guys, I have had like the worst month of my entire life. Okay, not really. It's not the worst month of my life, but I've had a pretty bad month. I've had a pretty bad couple of weeks. And I was at my friend's house. It was the first time I'd left my apartment in like 3 or 4 days, like since I got back from Arizona. And I was just gonna go to fucking Olive Garden with my friends. Like I was just gonna go to dinner with them because I just wanted to get out of my house and I wanted to be with my friends. And I was sitting on my friend's bed and we were all just talking, and they have a dog obviously, and I was petting the dog. I was petting the fucking dog because I like dogs. The dog's a rescue, and I have a rescue dog myself, and my dog is a spaz, and my dog is terrified of any human that's like not us. But I've met this dog before, so I don't know why he was so scared of me. But even when I walked into the house, the dog was like already barking at me. He normally does bark at me, but like whatever. So I was sitting there and I was petting the dog, and my friend was like laying on the bed with the dog right here, and I had my face in the dog's face because I was petting him, but he was fine when I was petting him. And then at one point I made like a really fast gesture because you guys know I move my hands a lot and I talk a lot with my hands. So I moved really fast at one point and he snapped and he grabbed my jacket. So he just like bit my jacket, and I was like, holy shit. But I was like, okay, whatever, I learned my lesson. I won't act so quickly next time. But then at one point my friend got up really fast, and I think I kind of like moved forward at one point, and so I guess maybe the dog thought we were like coming at each other or something, and so the dog just fucking grabbed my face. I was just like, I'm done with life. Of fucking course this would happen to me. Of course it would. At first I was kind of more shocked than anything else. I was just like, oh my god, like I like it caught me off guard. I didn't know what happened. It didn't really hurt that bad, but I kind of started tearing up because you know when something's just so shocking and you're like, oh my god. And so I started tearing up, and my friends were like, are you okay? And then my friend Dylan was like, I think you're bleeding. And so I go into the bathroom and I look at it, and I was like, you guys, this shit is really deep. I was like, I don't know what to do. I was like, do I need stitches? Like, I don't know, because I've cut my head open before and I didn't get stitches for that, and now I have the world. It's not even that big. I'm so dramatic. It's literally not even a big scar at all, but I have a scar on my forehead that's still there because I never got stitches, which I probably could have prevented. But now I'm scared I'm gonna get a scar like on my lip. I mean, I guess it makes me look tough, but whatever. Okay, but yeah, I have bite marks all over my face now. There's some down here too, but that one gets more covered up by makeup. This, impossible. So yeah, that's how my week's been. I also wanted to talk about my break just for a second because obviously I didn't upload last week, and I feel like you guys deserve some sort of explanation as to why. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, or if you don't have my post notifications on for YouTube so you don't see like the community tab stuff, I posted on there and I posted on Twitter that I would not be uploading this past weekend because I just had a lot of personal stuff going on, and sometimes it's really hard to deal with real life when your entire life is online, because sometimes you just need to like escape this realm of everything and actually deal with your life. And so I needed to take a step back, and I needed to stop looking at social media. I needed to just like focus on myself and everything going on up here, and I did, and it actually helped a lot more than I thought it would. For some reason I thought it would make me even more sad not being on social media because you guys make me really happy and I love interacting with you guys, but there's also some parts of social media that make you sad and things that you don't necessarily want to see, and I'm talking more personal things. So yeah, so I took a break. I was still like using Instagram and Twitter and stuff. Like I was still getting on every once in a while, but I definitely was not on it nearly as much as I normally am. I wasn't tweeting, so I didn't really interact with you guys that often, but I was going through and favoriting some of my friends' tweets, like if I was just like peeking on just to see what was happening. But yeah, so I kind of just needed a little bit of a break for myself. It definitely was not going to be a long-term break. I definitely would not be able to do that. I hate not uploading. I absolutely hate not uploading, and I'm kind of at the point where I would rather post something than post nothing, but I just figured it's gonna be pointless. Like I'm gonna hate whatever I post because I was not in a mindset to film, and I feel like myself, I don't know if you guys can ever tell, I'm sure you guys can because you know me pretty well. But I feel like whenever I record a video and I'm not in the mood to record a video, or if I'm like not in a very good place, or I just am having a bad day, I can tell while I'm editing the video that I'm not even in the video. Like, you can just tell that my mind is elsewhere. And I hate uploading those kinds of videos because I'm just like, what's the fucking point? Like, I love filming and I love making these videos and I love talking about this kind of stuff with you guys. So why would I upload a video where I'm not as passionate about it? I don't know. Shall we get into the actual video now? Because it's been 10 minutes. I just kind of wanted to let you guys know what's been going on, why I didn't upload. Obviously, I'm not going to go into detail about what exactly is happening in my personal life, but yeah, that's all you need to know. Also, if you guys haven't gotten my merch yet, I will have a link in the description. Smooth transitions. I actually bought 3 of these for myself. Like, I got one when I originally had the merch designed, and then I bought 3 more. I just got my red one and I'm obsessed with it. Thank you guys so much to everybody who bought the merch and you're sending me pictures of it. It makes me happier than you guys could ever imagine. I love seeing you guys in it and I love you guys talking about how comfortable it is, because I am not fucking kidding you guys when I say this is the most comfortable jacket I own. I swear all of the merch that I have, it's like so soft and so comfortable, and I'm just like, I've been blessed. But okay, wait, okay, we're gonna go into the video, So I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Ouija boards, and I kind of want to talk about my last session with the Ouija board. I do this pretty often where I'll post a Ouija board video and then I'll have you guys comment your thoughts and your opinions on it, and then I'll make another video kind of talking about your guys' thoughts and my thoughts after I've been able to like process everything. I also asked you guys if you wanted me to film a Ouija board video when I was in Arizona because I wanted to talk to T, and I wanted to see if T was at White Rock Lake. And if you haven't seen that video, you're not gonna have any idea what I'm talking about. I also realized that I have a lot of new people on my channel who aren't necessarily familiar with T or Hank or Hop. They don't really know the whole scenario and the relationships we have with them. So if you guys are one of those people and you don't know who they are, it's kind of hard for me to sit here and explain everything to you because it has been a very long journey for us to get here where we are with T. So if you're one of those people and you're confused, I always have the videos linked down below from like when it started to where we are now, and it has been a journey, let me tell you. I also noticed in my last video that it focused on the porg a lot more than it focused on me. I'm sorry, I can't help it. I can, but I don't pay attention that much. I'm gonna go through a summary really quickly of White Rock Lake and what happened there, and then we're gonna kind of talk about what happened in Arizona because I'm actually really disappointed. I'm really sad about this, so let's get into it. So me and my friend Morgan went to White Rock Lake, and when we were going there, we did not expect to contact T whatsoever. That was like the last thing on either of our minds. We were going there in the hopes of contacting the lady of White Rock Lake, and I explained the whole backstory of that in that video. I'm not going to go through that right now. The lake obviously is haunted, and we were thinking that we were going to talk to the lady who died there, but as soon as we got there, a lot of weird stuff started happening, and this wasn't even the first time this started happening. What I've noticed recently whenever I try to use the board is the board moves very slowly, and if you guys remember the first couple times I spoke to T, or when Kayla and I spoke to T, it would move really slowly, but as we started talking to her more and more, it would get a little bit faster. It was never too slow to the point where we just had to kind of give up because we really weren't getting anything from it. It would be slow, but we knew that it was moving and we knew that it was going to get there and we knew that we were going to have a conversation. But as of lately, whenever I try to use the board, it'll start moving so slowly to the point where you can't even tell on camera that it's moving, but we can tell sitting there that it's moving. And then it just kind of stops and they go away. The first time it happened was when Morgan and I went to the Goatman Bridge, and I never even uploaded anything about this because it was an absolutely pointless video. We were so disappointed because we were so excited to get something, because if you guys watched my original Goatman Bridge video, we had so much stuff happen. That was an hour-long video and the whole thing was insane. Like, we had leaves rustling, like somebody was running around us. We had a hum in the fucking background of the video. Like, it was absolutely insane. So we expected to go back there and get the same result, but we got nothing. It was like we tried to talk and it was slowly, very slowly moving towards hello, or maybe yes, because we asked if anybody was there, and it was like moving really slow, and we were being patient with them. We were like, take your time, like, is there anybody here, you know, just yes or hello, like we'll wait for you to get there. And it just kind of stopped at one point, and in the video a little bit you can hear leaves rustling as if somebody's like running away, and we heard that in person too. It was moving towards yes or hello, whatever, and then it stopped and we could hear as if literally somebody was running away. So we said that, we were like, did you hear that? Like, maybe they were here and they were just like, never mind, see ya, and ran away. I don't know. But then we went to the White Rock Lake and we tried it again there, and you guys saw in the video it was moving really slowly at the beginning, and every time we tried to get an answer, it would take like, I mean, literally 5 minutes for it to move across the board. It was incredibly windy, which I guess a lot of people said it's hard for them to communicate with wind. I've never heard that, but I mean, I'll take your guys' word for it. And a lot of people were saying that they didn't even believe it was T. And I kind of want to get into that as well after I explain all of these weird situations that have been happening. So then after the White Rock Lake, Morgan and I came back to my apartment and we thought maybe we would try it here. We figured maybe she would have an easier time talking to us here versus there because there really wouldn't be anything in the way, or we didn't really think. So Morgan and I sat at my dinner table, recorded for probably 30 30 minutes, and it again moved incredibly slow for like maybe 10 minutes and then just stopped completely. Like it never even got anywhere. It never went to hello, never went to yes. It was just moving very slowly. And I also would like to point out that there's definitely a huge difference between the planchette moving slowly versus you kind of nudging it along the way, because I do notice that sometimes if we're sitting there and nothing's happening, we'll like breathe or we'll like twitch and it'll kind of move, but there's definitely a different feeling to it, and I hope that makes sense. I mean, I guess if you guys have never used the board, you wouldn't necessarily know what I mean by that, but you can tell a nudge versus like it just being pushed. I guess I hope that makes sense, but do I ever make sense? Probably not. And then we went to Arizona, and this is where everything originated. This is where I met T, and this is where I met Hank and Hop. I genuinely don't think there's ever been a time where I went into my mom's house and tried to use the board and got absolutely nothing, but we got nothing. So I went in, and originally I was going to do this with my sister, but at the time where my sister could do it, I just was not in the mood to film. I was so exhausted. I had not slept the night before, so I was like, I don't want to use the board while I'm in this state because it's very clear that I'm just like not into it. I was like, I'm not even going to enjoy filming it, and I want to talk to her. I want to talk to T, so I was like, I can't film it right now. So we ended up waiting a couple hours. I went home, I took a nap, and I tried to film it with my brother's girlfriend, and we sat down and we tried to speak, and again it started to move really slowly, but then it just stopped, and we got absolutely nothing after that. And so I want to say we probably tried for close to an hour, and at one point I was like, okay, maybe we don't have enough people here, maybe we need more energy or something, because when Kayla and I used to use it, we would call someone, which like I don't know how much I believe that calling someone really helps, but it seemed like whenever we had somebody on the phone with us or an extra person in the room, it would move a lot faster. So we tried calling Kayla because I figured maybe T, Hank, Hop would be like, what the fuck is up, Kayla, and maybe move a little bit faster, but it didn't. So we had my brother come outside, and at one point we had my brother actually try to use the board with us, and it didn't work. I had Brittany come over. We had so many people there trying to just like give energy to whoever was trying to talk to us, but it would not move. Like it would move a tiny bit for like a second and then it would just stop. So I got nothing in Arizona, and I was so sad because I have never not talking to T when I use the Ouija board at my mom's house. And so I was like, this is just so weird. I was like, I don't know what happened, and I tried looking it up to see like maybe what it means if it's moving that slow, and everything you look up with Ouija boards, it's always like, it's fake, people are lying, it's just you're not pushing it hard enough, your friend's not pushing it hard enough, and I'm just like, whatever. So I mean, I kind of created my own little theory behind this, and the theory is not a very fun one, so just saying. I'm not able to contact her, so I guess none of the theories would necessarily be good. I was talking to my sister, and she actually asked me how the session went, and I told her that we got absolutely nothing, like nobody came through, and she was like, do you think they moved on? And again, if you guys aren't familiar with the videos, basically T told us they're in this state of purgatory, and not necessarily what we think purgatory is, but it literally is just kind of a middle ground between here and moving on. So my sister was like, what if all of them moved on? Like, what if they just decided it was their time? And that made me really sad because I was like, I didn't even get to say goodbye. Like, I didn't get to say anything to them. I already had a feeling that Hank moved on because the last couple times we had been there, Hop and T both said they didn't know where he was and that he wasn't there anymore. And so are you fucking kidding me? So we kind of already had this feeling that Hank did move on. I had only really had, I think we had like maybe 2 conversations with him, like actual conversations. Whereas T, obviously we kind of have like more of a relationship with her. I know it's such like a weird way to state it because she's a spirit. Like it's a weird thing to be like, I have a relationship with a ghost. But like, I mean, if you guys have kept up with this series, I guess, it's not even necessarily a series. If you guys have kept up with it, you guys know that it's not just like, hey, what's going on, dude? What the fuck is up? It's like, it's definitely come a lot further than that. It's so weird. It's so weird to talk about. I feel insane talking about it. But I got really sad because I was like, well, what if they did? But then my sister was also like, well, they said they like it where they are, so I can't imagine that they would move on, or like, I don't know. So I guess, I mean, what do you guys think? It's also strange to me though because this is where my theory comes in. So again, at White Rock Lake, it was moving very slowly, but we were getting answers out of her that time. I say her because I'm going to act as if it actually was T speaking to us. So I'm pretty sure right away it went to hello or yes. I can't remember which one is which. I mean, it doesn't really matter that much. But then when I asked for the first letter of their name, they went to T. I didn't immediately think, oh, this is T. I kind of thought like, oh, it's a coincidence. It's probably somebody whose name starts with a T. So we asked them for the second letter and it went to 8. And again, if you guys aren't familiar, we kind of have these codes with T just so we can know if it's her or not. A lot of people say they can read your mind. I don't know if I believe that necessarily. I feel like that's kind of a stretch. Like what the fuck is reading my mind? How are they getting into my brain? I don't know how much I believe that. I also feel like T wouldn't be like, hey, let's have a secret code if anybody could figure out the secret code, you know what I mean? So she went to the 8, and then I asked her if she could go to like our second little secret code, and she fucking did. So from there, that's when me and Morgan were both like, there's no way, like how did this even happen? T did tell me that she could talk to me while I was in Texas, but it was just so random because I had no intentions of speaking to her that day. I guess I don't really have to have intentions of speaking to her for her to come through, but I thought it was so random, and she was moving so slowly, and it was just such a weird feeling. It was very eerie, very creepy, just felt very off, which again, I've never felt off or weird during a Ouija board session, and the whole thing just felt bad. And then you guys even saw, I mean, if you watched it, my camera flew over at one point. All of our shit flew everywhere. Thank you guys so much for backing me up with that kind of stuff. I have said a million times how I think some of these Ouija board videos online are just so dramatic and they're so extra and so annoying, but we literally caught this stuff, I mean, on camera. Like you can see, it was just me and her there. People were talking about whispers in the background, how there was like hair at one point waving in front of the camera when we were sitting so far back. Like you guys were pointing out so much stuff that I never even noticed, which is insane to me. There was like a weird red light at some point, which I don't know where that would have came from. Like you guys pointed out so much stuff. And even with like the camera falling and our stuff flying, you guys were like, there's no way that was the wind with the way that it was moving. Awesome. Gonna put my computer on mute. Oh dear God, Jesus. Okay, like somebody pointed out that later on in the video, you can see my camera kind of shake a little bit, but it doesn't fall over. And the original time when my camera did fall over, it didn't shake at all. It literally just went straight down. And then with our stuff flipping, it wasn't even like the direction of the wind. We had so much stuff stacked on top of this box. It would have been impossible for the wind to just flip it up, especially the way that it did flip. It wasn't like it just like flew off. It literally looked like somebody was like, yeet. And I'm very skeptical about some stuff myself. I believe in the paranormal and I believe in the Ouija board, but there are some stuff I'm like, that didn't fucking happen. But this stuff happened. Let me tell you. So I just thought it was strange that it was apparently T, but it was also something very negative at the same time. And this is kind of what I've concluded from that. My fear right now is that there's somebody with T, and there's somebody following her, somebody who is not good, maybe somebody with malicious intent, who could possibly know about her relationship with Kayla and I, or even Morgan at this point, or my sister at this point. Basically anybody who uses the board with me to speak to T, or Hank, or Hop, which, because I wasn't able to talk to them, that's why I feel like maybe it's associated with all of them, but mostly T, obviously. But okay, again, my fear is that there's somebody who's attached to her or maybe following her to see when she speaks to us, and as she's trying to talk to us, they're trying to take over. And if you guys remember from one of my older videos, there was somebody named Riley who was in my mom's house. Somebody who like appeared out of nowhere. It was like originally Hank, T, and Hop who were able to speak to us, and then Riley just came out from nowhere, and they were strong enough to talk to us. I'm pretty sure it was a girl, and they were strong enough to talk to us. Like they were stronger than T. But at one point when we asked to speak to Riley, T came through and T was like, nuh-uh, you're not talking to her, which was absolutely insane to me because T had explained to us, or we kind of, you know, inferred from all of it, inferred, even like a good word to use. We had this theory that if somebody was stronger than the other person, so like Hank and Hop were stronger than T, that they could always overpower her on the board and come through whenever they wanted, and she just kind of had to be like, well, fuck, like wait her turn basically until they let her speak. So for her to come through and for her to be able to overpower Riley was absolutely insane for us. And she was like, I love you and all this shit. And we were like, oh my God, like how are you able to do that? And so what I kind of think right now, and I don't know, maybe I'm crazy, like what do you guys think about all this stuff? What I'm thinking is that this person is malicious and this person might be evil, which I hate saying that because I don't think Ouija boards are evil in any way, but you never know, I guess. But I feel like this evil person is coming through trying to speak to us and maybe having T like lead the way into it. But T is so powerful when it comes to like me or my sister or Kayla or Morgan that she's not letting them. And maybe it's moving so slowly because they're fighting over it. I have no fucking idea. But this is what I'm thinking. And it makes me nervous to use the board again because if that is the case, what if T one time isn't strong enough to hold back and we kind of think it's her at the beginning and we open up to her a little bit and then it just turns I don't even like to think about it. It does make me nervous. This is just like a random theory that I had because I don't really know how to explain it in any other way. I literally cannot use the board right now. Like it doesn't fucking work. I feel like if that doesn't say something about all of this being real, then I don't know what does, because why the fuck would I sit there with 5 different people for 30 minutes to like an hour and get absolutely nothing? What does that do for me? I have literally sat down to film like 5 videos, 5 Ouija board videos, have gotten nothing. It just wastes my time and it wastes theirs. I just feel like whenever I try to use the board, it's just a struggle to get it to even move the tiniest bit. And when it does, it just ends up stopping out of nowhere. And I'm just like, see ya, like what the fuck? And it's crazy too because there have been points where I'll ask for T and I'll say it out loud. I'll be like, T, where are you? Like come talk to us. And I know that's not a good idea because anybody could come through and be like, oh, I'm T, but we literally get nothing. That's the issue. I could go anywhere right now. I could do the board anywhere I wanted to, and I get nothing. It's like almost like she's coming through or trying so hard to come through, but something's fighting her, and so we just can't even speak to her. So it's like I don't even know what to do at this point. I mean, that's pretty much my entire theory behind it. There's really not much else to it. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know if you guys have any theories on it, or if you guys know more than I do, because a lot of you probably do, and maybe if you guys have an idea of what's happening. I would love for it to be anything else other than my theory. I would love for it to be any other simple explanation as to why we can't talk to her. I would hate for this to be the reason why. It sucks, and it's sad, and it's scary, and I don't want that to be the case, because I want to be able to talk to her, and I want to be able to make videos with her and share the videos with you guys, because I know how much you guys love tea. And so it's sad. It sucks right now. So I'm gonna keep trying to use the board. I mean, I can't guarantee you guys videos until I get something. Obviously, I could post the videos where nothing happens, but that is so dumb. They're so boring and they're so pointless. It's literally just me and whoever I'm with talking shit for like 30 minutes because we get nothing. And at first, it's like we have like all of our energy focused on this board and we're trying so hard to get something to come through. But after a little bit, you're just kind of like, what the fuck is going on? So I mean, that's my theory right now. It sucks. It sucks so bad because I really want to talk to T, and I really want to talk to Hank and Hop, and I don't really know what's going on right now. It's insane to me that absolutely nothing happened in my mom's guest house, because that's where we've always spoken to her and that's where everything's always happened, and we got nothing, and I'm just like, fuck. But yeah, I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love just sitting here and talking to you guys about this kind of stuff. It's stuff I'm very interested in. I have my theories and I have my thoughts on all of it, and I know that you guys do too, and I love hearing your guys' thoughts. Oh, I was also gonna say, a lot of you guys didn't even think it was T because of how off and weird the whole video felt, but part of me does believe that it was her, and my theory kind of backs it up with like somebody overpowering her in a way. So let me know what you think about that, I guess. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm so sorry for not uploading last week, but I promise videos will resume as normal, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. So when we were at White Rock Lake, it was again moving very slowly, but at White Rock Lake, it again was moving very slowly, but at White Rock Lake, again, it was very